Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Last night saw the return of Doctor Who. Nobody want to applause? Okay, nobody wants to applause whatsoever. To our TV screens in its much reduced 13th season, where we get a meager 6 episodes. However, Chris Chibnall has decided to make it a 6-parter of a single storyline, which, if you didn't see the series, made the first episode, in my opinion, exceedingly messy. I did a stream last night with Gary after the airing of it. Go over to NerdRotic's channel to check that out. We give our thoughts and feelings. But briefly, I'll just say that the episode itself, Mandeep Gill's, I can't even remember her flipping name at the moment, was just awful. As per usual, standard, just a miserable bint of a character that can't be nice. Yaz, that's it. Can't be nice to save her life. John Bishop was okay as Dave. Is it Dave? I don't know. The character that he's playing, Jodie Whittaker, was Jodie Whittaker. I've never gravitated towards her as a doctor at all. But the story itself was ridiculously messy, all over the place, because Chibnall is trying to set things up for us in later episodes to go, oh, so that's why that happened. That made absolutely no sense whatsoever in episode 1 when we're watching episode 4. It sounds clever, but it's not clever because he shoehorned in so many different things, including new characters, new enemies, old enemies, Santarans, and just new people, a couple of white guys from Liverpool in 1820, and it just led to a very messy episode as we were jetting back and forth between these stories, which had no connection to us at the time and made no sense. They obviously will later, but when you're trying to capture an audience to watch your show, and if I didn't watch Doctor Who and I watched last night's episode for the first time, I would be like, what the is this show? This show doesn't know what it wants to be. And speaking of doesn't know what it wants to be, it lent into some of the timeless children elements. The division came up. The Doctor's memory loss was used. But there was a new villain that was introduced. And they were just able to have a psychic connection to the Doctor, which makes you believe, again, the possibly of Time Lord or origin. But now that the Time Lord's origin has been complete and utterly usurped, goodness knows anymore, without the Doctor doing anything to stop it or prevent it or to discuss it with her companions, because she's never cared about her companions. It's always been the case. But this new enemy just seems to be able to materialize wherever they want. One moment they were captured on some asteroid or rock somewhere or planet somewhere. And then the next thing, they're in the Antarctic, killing people and changing women into his sister. Yes, as weird as it sounds, yes. We had a brief glimpse of the Santarans, where they tried to do a very unfunny skit, and it was very unfunny. We had the introduction of a woman called Claire. The actress seemed to be pretty good. And she had a very brief run-in with a weeping angel, and then that was done. John Bishop, did I say Paul Bishop? I don't know. John Bishop's new character, Dan, not Dave, Dan. He has a potential girlfriend, and she decided to turn up for a date where they were going for drinks. So you would have thought that she would have met him in town by the bar that they were going to go for drinks in, or she would be sat down in said bar that they were going to have drinks waiting for him. But no, she decided that the best place to wait for him was a dark back street in the middle of nowhere, where she was suddenly summoned into the very house that she was stood behind, and she entered and there was a light and boom, that was over. And it was just making no sense whatsoever. And as I said, I know he's trying to set things up because it is a 6-parter, but if you're trying to get into the show, or if you're trying to give the show the benefit of the doubt, or if you're a new viewer, then this was absolutely ridiculous. Messy, all over the place, and some very bad makeup. All I can say is space dog. And a stupid story involving dogs in space coming to Earth because each dog in space has an assigned human. By the way, the dog in space tried to kill Yaz, so they would have had a spaceship that was assigned to pick up Yaz. Don't think about it too much. And they were going to take their humans back as pets, like we have dogs as pets. I don't fucking know. And they came in 7 billion spaceships, a spaceship each. Yes, that ridiculous. And all these spaceships could just so coincidentally happen to interconnect with one another, which caused a huge force field to go around the planet Earth to stop the flux, which I think is everybody flushing the shit of Doctor Who down a toilet, and it's come up with this flux thing. Speaking of which, we had another character with absolutely no use whatsoever, Discount Killmonger, who just happened to be floating around on a space observation center and then saw the flux and described it absolutely terribly and then abandoned his station. Don't care. I left the episode thinking, what is this absolute mess that I've witnessed? I didn't get much out of it at all. A couple of decent performances from ancillary cast members, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's get on to the ratings element of it. And well, this is Jodie Whittaker's first season as Doctor Who. She had the overnight of 8.2 million, and then the consolidated. The consolidated is the number that you want to look at. This is the 7-day. And what the consolidated does, for people that don't know, is it adds up all the people that DVR'd it or watch it later over the course of 7 days on the iPlayer. So the overnights are the immediate, but we don't get the true result for 7 days later, a week later on. So the overnight's 8.2, and then it went to 10.5, which was a massive curiosity because we had the first female Doctor. Then the next season, there was oops-a-daisy, giving this away. I know, here we go. Whoops-a-daisy, the next season had a colossal drop-off rate. Colossal. I mean, look how much it dropped off during the first season anyway, ending in a consolidated number of 6.48. But overnights, 4.88 for the last season, 6.7 consolidated. And we saw just a catastrophe of ratings come in last year until it ended in a consolidated, the Timeless Children, the one that ruined everything, consolidated 4.55 million, the lowest New Who rating there had been. So going to the new season, a shorter season, only 6 episodes, and an interlinking story leading into the regeneration of a new Doctor, you would have thought that this would have got a relatively decent ratings boost. But no, it proved to be the lowest overnights of New Who on a season premiere, only bringing in 4.43 million. Now, we've got to wait 7 days to get it consolidated and get the final result. But as you can see here, Spyfall Part 1, 4.88. So it's another 400,000 people down from the season premiere of the last time. Even going back to Capaldi's third and final season, the pilot brought in 4.64 million, 200,000 more than season 13 for Jodie Whittaker. But what Capaldi had going for him, which Whittaker has not, is Capaldi tended to have a strong 7-day, a strong consolidated, somewhere between 1.5 million and 2 million. So he would get a nice boost. So even though Capaldi's overnights tended to be slightly less sometimes across the board with the overnights, the consolidated numbers put him always ahead of Jodie Whittaker's Doctor at their same stage. And with Whittaker having much shorter, much lower consolidated DVR iPlayer, it's going to be quite interesting to see whether or not this gets a substantial boost or whether or not it kind of stays with form and probably does an extra 1.3 mil, taking it to about 5.7, 5.8. That's going to be my prediction. My prediction for the consolidator is going to be 5.7, 5.8 million. So not lighting up the fire at all here with the opening episode. Lowest there's been. Lowest overnight there's been of NuWho. And couldn't have happened to a nicer Doctor and a worse cast. But I was speaking in the podcast yesterday, and apparently, I don't know if this is true, I need to look into this, but apparently Russell T. Davies, who's returning as the showrunner for season 14 with their new Doctor, has said that he is going to respect the Timeless Children. And if that storyline stays, then I'm done with Doctor Who. I'm done. I'll watch his first episode out of curiosity, but I'm done. The whole thing for Doctor Who for me was how the Timeless Children destroyed the legacy of this wonderful show. And if, like many of us have said, if the answer to the question, who's the first Doctor, isn't William Hartnell, then no, not interested. Thank you very much indeed. Goodbye. So there we go. A very lukewarm return for Doctor Who. Lowest overnight of a premiere for NuWho. Oopsies, never mind. Hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and YouTube for live streaming. Links are in the description box down below. I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.